Hey guys, Luke here. I thought I'd do a quick video just going over the 2015 NRL season. Now, obviously, I did yesterday's video that was sort of wrapping up top 8, going over my predictions, that sort of stuff. So you can go out and watch that, and I'll put it in the description below, the link to that video, if you haven't already watched it. This video is just going to be talking about sort of my team of the season and just, you know, players who I thought did well throughout the season. So basically, I won't go through. Actually, I will go through each individual position, but I have picked a 1 to 13 actual side. So, I mean, for centres, you're going to have 2 centres, obviously 2 wingers, rather than like Dally M's where they just pick, you know, 1 prop of the year and that sort of stuff. And also, I think it also makes it a bit easy because sometimes, you know, sometimes like how are you supposed to pick, you know, a winger or a centre, you know, when they both do good things, different things, bring different things to a side. So, we'll start off with fullback. Now, I think Roger Tuivasa-Sheck was the best fullback this year, by far. I think he's just what he brings to the side, like he running meters, he kick returns. He's actually been good decision making. I had a lot of question marks over Tuivasa-Sheck at the start of the season, like before the season started, due to the fact that when he'd been coming in with swapping Minicello every now and again, I was like, well, he's been playing parts of the season, but like how good is he organising the defence and how good is his actual defence, and you know he's you know, playmaking abilities didn't seem all that good in terms of being able to pick the pass out and do stuff like that. But you know what, he showed me, and obviously making a move to Warriors next year, I think that's a great signing for them. But I think he's going to be key to the Roosters' run in the finals, to be totally honest with you. So we'll go with wingers right now. Going with Radradra, obviously picks himself, and the other one I've gone with is Curtis Rayner, who I also think picks himself. I think those two have been the best wingers this year, by far, to be honest with you. Both, like, there's been a lot of wingers who've had a bit of form throughout the season at times and looked unstoppable, but these two obviously just kept it up the whole season. Radradra had some injuries, ended up the top try scorer by 1, I think, over Rona. Obviously, Rona played all but like maybe 1 or 2 games this year, but he definitely had a really good year. Radradra's a freak with the ball. Obviously, defense isn't the greatest, but I mean, if you're picking a New South Wales squad, you could probably pick Radradra on the wing, or an Australian team even, maybe. Like he's that good of a winger, and he's not just a 1 year wonder, which, I mean, I didn't think it myself, but I suppose some people thought he might have been a 1 year wonder. Obviously not. Curtis Rayner came to the Bulldogs. When he was announced to have signed, I was super happy with that, because we'd seen little glimpses of him for the Cowboys. I think he was scoring at a rate of like, he was scoring more than 1 try a game or something like that. Or I say it was more along the lines of like 8 tries in 7 games or something, before he got dropped once he had time with the Bulldogs, which is what I'm pretty sure happened. So I was super happy about that. He was tall. Heard he had pretty good pace. He kept getting lots of intercepts last year. So coming into the Bulldogs side, where we had people like Mitch Brown and Corey Thompson, I'm not saying they're bad. Well, Corey Thompson's, you know, he's a pretty solid player, but height and that, it's very important these days, and the ability to finish off a try. And it's just little things like Curtis Rayner, like he doesn't make shitty errors, like coming out his own end or anything like that, which is really good. He's great under the high ball. Not that we kick to him often, but when we do, you know, he's always a threat. And it's just those ones where, you know, you get it to the winger and you're like a 50-50 chance of scoring. Come on. Well, it's pretty much a 100% chance that Curtis Rayner is going to score those tries. Even at the time of recording, it's the day after the Warriors game, and there's a try with Curtis Rayner. I was already celebrating when he jumped to the corner, and then he gets up shaking his head saying, oh, I haven't scored or whatever, and shows he gets it down easy. So even when he doesn't think he's got the ball down, he's got the ball down, and it's a try. That's just how good he is. Then moving on to the centres. Now, this is a little bit of a tough one, because I was sort of thinking, like, it hasn't been like a super standout centre, but in terms of people who have been consistent over the year, I went with Michael Jennings, because I think he's just been good, and yeah, well, like I said, he's just been really good throughout the whole year. Hasn't really been too many games where he's been total shit. I mean, every now and again, play an average game, but I think he's been pretty solid throughout the whole year. And then the other one is James Roberts. Now, a lot of people, I've seen James Roberts being pelted in as, you know, centre of the year and all that, because he can produce those really flashy tries. My only question marks about Roberts is he does have those little brain farts quite often, at least like once a game, which is that a centre of the year material? I mean, maybe. I mean, I wouldn't complain that if he got it, but I feel like he's just got too many errors to be centre of the year. But I mean, he's had a great year, so he's definitely in the side. So yeah, moving on to the halves. The first one I went with, we'll go with the 5'8". Now, there's a few people could have went with, but I went with Blake Austin, and that's just due to the fact, I mean, obviously he's been really good in a Raiders side. I mean, Raiders aren't the best side. Now Austin had a really good patch up and a little bit past State of Origin. He had a bit of a dry spell when Raiders started losing some games, and I will say for all of Austin's, he's getting lots of praise and all that sort of stuff. Closing out games and that sort of stuff might not be the strongest, and I think Caesar will help that incredibly next year. Maybe Caesar will be the one we're talking about for Origin next year, who knows. But yeah, Blake Austin, I'd say, would be the best 5'8" this year. And then halfback is obviously Thurston. He picks himself. He's had that good of a year yet again. So I can't even really talk about him too much because you already know. Everyone knows Thurston's great. Now we'll go with the props. I've gone with Jesse Bromwich and Jared Hargreaves. Now, I've seen a few people listing like Casiano as being the best prop, and I'd say he's one of the best props in form at the current time in terms of the whole season. It's a long season. People forget start of the year. Casiano was dog shit for a while, but Jesse Bromwich, very consistent. Hargreaves before his injury was absolutely killing teams single-handedly, and I think he's had a really good season. Got dropped by New Zealand, and obviously working very hard to make sure he gets back in and keeps his spot there. Moving on to the hooker. Now this is a little bit of a tough one. A lot of people are saying Michael Ennis. I mean, obviously you can go for the Cam Smiths and that sort of stuff where, everybody sort of pick them and you wouldn't have an argument over that. I mean, they've had great seasons. But I've actually gone with Josh Hodgson from the Raiders, and the reason being is I think he's a very all-round player. He's very important to the side. We've seen when he doesn't play, they look very average. Also, I think in terms of, completing a side for the Raiders, I mean, they were getting wooden spoon stuff, and you're sort of looking at that side, and you're like, man, they're not the greatest, but are they wooden spoon side? You don't really know. They had a lot of talent, but they're always lacking that hooker position, a quality hooker, and they finally found one in Josh Hodgson. He's England international. I think he had a really, really good season. He can kick, tackle, attack, everything, and he's probably very underrated because of the team he plays for. I know Blake Austin gets a lot of the credit, but I think people like Josh Hodgson do a lot of the nitty gritty stuff, a lot of the work that people don't really pay attention to. I suppose that is what hookers kind of do. They do a lot of the work that people don't see. I mean, look, Cameron Smith. A lot of people don't appreciate Cameron Smith because he's not, playing like Sigiaro where he picks up the ball and runs, scores 100-meter tries. Like, they're not that sort of players, but they're a side that can rip apart a side just due to their football smarts. And I think Josh Hodgson had a really good year, although obviously I'm fine with Ennis and people like Smith getting put in because they had great seasons as well, but I'm going for something a bit different. A second rows. If I'm totally honest, I kind of would pick Frank Pritchard there, but I've gone with Josh Jackson to be the first one, due to the fact that, just a lot of people are saying he should be in there, and I can't disagree with him. I think he's had a great year, although me personally, I think Pritchard has the bigger impact in games, but Jackson is very, very consistent, has been for many years, and I was really happy he made the State of Origin side. So he got a lot of shit during Origin because he's not like a big monster like Clemmer or anything, but a very, very good player. And the other second row I picked is Aidan Guerra. He's just so good, so consistent, and I think he's a genuine quality world-class player, world-class second rower. He's just really, really good Guerra. He's got it all, and yeah, he's one of my favourite second rowers. It's a shame he plays for the Roosters, if I'm honest. Moving on to the lock position. Now, I think this one sort of picks itself. I mean, Corey Parker is the one who I'm picking, and I mean, there's a few other locks who's had pretty good seasons. I mean, Tamalalo was alright, Eastwood, a few guys like that, but I think Corey Parker played most of the season, played well during Origin. He's played a really, really good season overall, and it's good to see him not playing prop this year, which is nice. I had a huge problem with him playing prop last year, and killed it young Supercoach. So good on you, Corey Parker, lock position. Now there's some other people that I'll give note to who had really good years. So I'll start off with, I think Brett Morris has had a good year at the Bulldogs. I mean, obviously due to injury. If he didn't have the injury, maybe we'd see him a little bit higher up. But I think what he's added to the side is huge. And also Josh, for that matter as well, a return to form this year. Doesn't have the niggling injuries like he did last year. And I sort of mentioned Josh just due to the fact that there hadn't been that many standout centres. And Josh Morris is always a consistent pick, great in the fence. You can always, as a safe bet, having him there. If you picked him as centre of the year, I don't think a lot of people would be up in arms about it. James Tedesco, fullback, I think he's had a really, really good year. And also in that note, Matt Moylan, I think, had a really good year as well. Although injury sort of crueled his season, but when he was playing, I thought he was really good. But yeah, Tedesco, very, very all-round fullback, and expect him to be a superstar in years to come. Another one for lock, prop, whatever. Martin Tapau, I thought had a good half season. Sort of fell away in the end, but yeah, I thought he had a pretty good season. And then we got Cameron Smith, already mentioned that before, and Michael Ennis, already mentioned them briefly. I thought David Klemmer, in terms of props, absolutely great this year, phenomenal. If it wasn't for Hargreaves Bromwich, he'd be next in line, in my opinion. That's how much I rate Klemmer this year. And I'm a Bulldog supporter, so there's obviously going to be some bias, but I think he was incredible off the bench for New South Wales, for Bulldogs, everything. So many games where he's just come on and turned the game. I picked Takiyaho, whatever his name is. I think he's had a really good year for the Roosters. I'm not going to say he's an unsung hero because a lot of people have been saying he's really good, but I think he's a great player. Next up, Tyson Frizzell had a really good season up until he got injured, and he sort of cooled off a little bit there, but I thought he had a pretty good year. He's had a pretty good year, sorry. And then next up, we've got Michael Morgan, who I think completes that Tiger side. I mean, you can throw in Lock and Coote there as well, but I thought Michael Morgan obviously got his debut for Queensland, and then he retained his spot as well. Which is, maybe even more impressive on the bench there, but he's so versatile, and you see how much Cowboys lack when Michael Morgan plays. I mean, I know any side who loses a key player in the halves is going to lack, but just what he gives to Thurston, I mean, it's stuff that you probably don't initially see. It's just more a threat from both halves, where it was before it was just, well, you got Robert Louis or Ray Thompson, someone there, they're okay players, but Thurston too, we got to shut down. Now you can't put all your focus on Thurston because Michael Morgan can take advantage of that. Now Jack Bird is someone who obviously not. I don't think he'd be a player of the year or anything, but I think he really turned the Sharks season around. I think he's been very consistent. Kept waiting for him to fall off a little bit in form, and he just hasn't. So yeah, good work, Jack Bird. And then finally Frank Pritchard, farewell year for the Bulldogs, and I just wanted to make a little mention of that. I think he's been really, really good for the Bulldogs. Probably our best second rower, although Jackson getting all the plaudits. But yeah, like I said, Pritchard can definitely turn the game, and he has in many games. So that's where the video is going to end. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you can leave a like, do so. Subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Twitter at Mr. Luke on YT. Facebook's in the description below. And yeah, leave in the comments what would be your team of the year. That was mine. I'm interested in see what would yours be. Alright, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye!